Hey there, Brian from LP3 Cronus here, and I'm sorry I haven't recorded the last few wars against Fisco War, Warholics, Mafia Vietnam. I was out of town for a wedding, and I just didn't have time to record, so I apologize for that. As you can see, though, we have continued our winning streak. I think I've shown wars, and today I'm going to look at this war against this Korean clan, I guess. Um, we had a pretty solid war. Um, 7 3 stars, which is nice to see. Our average destruction was 80%, which is always great as well. Um, we never like to see that we've got 2 leftover attacks, but either way. They did use most of their attacks, so we'll show you what they did to our bases, and it was essentially 2 stars until they got to our Town Hall 8 and our Town Hall 8.5. But we had some pretty nice attacks, a few unique attacks, and the first one that I want to look at is from Sammy. And if you take a look at Sammy's base that he chose, it's very, very symmetrical. And this attack, within the first minute, as soon as you kill squad, you'll see the entire attack is over, and I'll tell you what I mean. I'll just fast forward to the kill squad here. I think he should have put his witches down a little bit earlier. That way they can have at least generated skeletons to distract the dragon. What he did instead, which is a mistake that a lot of people make, is that they drop the golem, and watch how much damage this golem takes to the dragon before the queen is able to take it down. The golem's already at half health and is about to die, and the queen is just taking it out, plus that balloon there. You should really drop your witches first, that way they can generate skeletons and distract that dragon. But either way, he still has a full golem for his kill. And now, as soon as he enters that compartment, he just saw the double giant bomb. He just saw the giant bomb went off, which means that most likely the other compartments are also single bombs here, here, and here. And when I say that the raid is over, it means that he can now choose to pre-heal all the remaining 3 triangles, and he will be totally fine because he knows there's no 2 double bomb compartments. I think that's what he tries to do with this surgical here, and I love it that he sends them in so quickly as soon as he sees his kill squads engaged. But I would have dropped my heal right here. See that there was going to be that bomb there, and he dropped it about a quarter of a second too late, and it did end up taking out some of those hogs. Long run didn't matter so much. On the left-hand corner, on the 9 o'clock corner here, again, I think I probably would have dropped the heal now, and he lost a couple hogs to that again as well. But again, long run, he had enough hogs, it didn't matter. His kill squad was so strong. He did pre up on top, which was perfect, kept all his hogs 100% alive, and they were able to take out that compartment with absolutely no problem. And then again, see, he had that leftover heal down there, which did almost nothing. So I would have just pre-healed those compartments as soon as you knew for sure that this double giant bomb went off. But again, look how many hogs he's got left. It was a great base for surgical with those 4 flower compartments. We'll just speed through the rest of it. A great base for surgical. His kill squad really penetrated really, really well, so that was really great. Again, when killing a dragon, if you have those witches, deploy them early. That way the dragon locks onto the skeletons instead of the golem, basically taking it completely out. But great raid, Sammy. All right, next one I want to look at is from Viking, and I love this attack just because of the 4 earthquakes. I know that some people rip on them a lot, but I think when they're used right, they can be pretty powerful. We'll just take a pause here for a second. It's hard to see, but this compartment with the town hall is now open. The clan castle is obscuring it a little bit, but he essentially made a straight path, 50% of this, if not more. And when you're using witches, he's using 8 witches, so this is almost a hocus pocus, but he's using 8 witches, and skeletons get destroyed by walls, because splash damage can just take them out while they're getting distracted by those walls. So opening up all these compartments is really huge. So Sammy has his 3 golems on the top, and at this point, it's a pretty basic go wee wee. Just a couple wall breakers to get him into that compartment. Probably didn't need all of those. He knew that the dragon was in there, which is fine because he's got all these skeletons to completely distract it. His heroes are going to take out the enemy clan castle, and then you'll see that all of these skeletons here are just ripping through space. And I also want you to take notice, look how he saves 3 wizards in his army, and he has not deployed them yet. I think that saving these 3 wizards is what allowed him to get the 3-star, and I'll tell you what I mean in a minute. So we'll see that his kill squad is in the center very well, and he's got a couple right and a couple witches on the left with a few wizards. And witches themselves are not pointless, but they're kind of like golems, really. They do very, very little damage, and their skeletons are excellent tanks, excellent distractions, but just a bunch of witches by themselves, their range attack is almost no damage. And they're very, very difficult. You know, they would never be able to take out their space. So just pause quickly right here. You'll see that the queen and the king have already gone down. He's got two witches on the right. It looks like a witch on the left with a couple of wizards, and still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenses, point defenses still up. Important to know that they're point defenses, not splash defenses. So you'll see that the witches on the right against that gold storage are doing almost nothing. Now he drops his 3 wizards on the bottom, and that is going to be what allows us to get the victory here. These wizards are the ones that are doing all the damage to the space. The witches, of course, are the tanks, but without these wizards, this base would not be close to getting 3-starred. So these wizards are what keeps this raid alive, with the skeletons distracting. They don't have time to target on those wizards. One wizard actually will get taken out, but at that point, there will be enough skeletons and that wizard to take out the rest of the space. So we'll just speed through that very quickly. And that ended the raid. So when you are doing a go wee wee like this, and you think that you will have witches left over just because there's so many of them, it does make sense to save a wizard or 2 for that back end cleanup. All right, I wanted to look at one more from AIF. That's what I call him, AYF. Not really sure. Kind of looks like he face rolled on the keyboard. And again, before he starts this raid, you'll see the base is very compact, no spaces for a double giant bomb, and he brings 29 hogs. That's a huge number. I mean, considering he already has 2 golems, 29 hogs is large, and the way he does this attack is so interesting. Just while the kill squad's going, I'll just talk about the different kinds of hog deployments. So there's surgical, we saw that earlier in the video. There's the 2-finger drop, which is where you have, just pause quickly, where you have 2 streams of hogs going onto adjacent defenses. And the reason that you would do that, or an Asian wall, which is where you drop kind of like a row of hogs, where you'd like drop a row of balloons. And the reason you would use those 2 deployments is because that way they can share heals. Your hogs in different places, like in surgical, sometimes it's hard to conserve your heals and you're wasting them. So here, AIF drops about 15 of his hogs on the bottom left and about 15 of his hogs on the top right. And the reason it works on this base so well is because of how compact it is. And you'll see that this one heal on each side allows them to stand in that heal for like 4 or 5 defenses that expo the wizard tower, and only at the very, very end does that split up hurt them, meaning there wasn't a last heal for these final few defenses. But at this point, it doesn't matter. He had so many hogs that even without that last heal, most of them were going to stay up. And you'll see in a second, how many hogs is that? I can't even count. I mean, the giant bomb at this point was complete luck. I mean, a total fluke. I can account for that. But had that bomb not been there, he would have had, what, 15, 20 hogs still left? That was obviously a very bad stroke of luck. But again, a queen at full health with her ability, a bunch of wizards, and it's going to be enough to take out the rest of the space. The interesting deployment, though, was pretty cool for this base, and I think it can be done on similar bases, and I think it was a great job. Good job to everyone at Cronus. Another really great war. We have just spun again, and we will be facing... ooh, that's weird. Either way, we will be facing another level 5 clan, and I'll hopefully bring you that recap as soon as possible. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.